Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the House Kayfabe. I am the biggest nerd in the house. I'm going to go ahead and claim that title because the rest of them are too lazy to get on these videos with me. Hence, I bring outside sources. I have with myself Bobby Brown, and not to be confused with the other guy that does those other things in life, because he's not one of those guys. He's a very cool guy. Goes to a lot of wrestling shows. Very avid collector, as you can see behind him. He has a nice collection of AEW figures. He has a nice collection of also other nerdy figures as well. So he is perfect to bring into the House Kayfabe for this episode. And as you can see before me, we are holding cards. Bobby, thank you for doing this. I don't know. I'm not going to say that Adam wouldn't be here, but at the moment, Adam's probably working a shoot job. Matt doesn't open cards a lot because he travels a lot. Matt is a musician, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know, he is the voice behind the entrance music of Heath Baby. So if you watch Impact Wrestling, or if you ever go to a live event and you hear Heath Miller or Heath Slater come out to the ring, you are listening to the only Matt Mullins. Bobby, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me on here. Happy to be here.
Fantastic. So, cards. We're talking about cards. This is not your first time ripping into packs of cards, and not your first time ripping into AEW cards. Bobby is a pretty avid card collector, not just of wrestling cards, but of all cards, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, he's got the Atlanta Braves hat on, so I'm going to guess there's probably a lot of baseball cards in that collection as well.
Oh, yeah. Baseball and football, quite a bit of them.
All right. So you know what you're looking for when it comes to cards. You know the differences between base cards and parallel cards and hits and things of that nature. You know what brings value to a card.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. All right. So here at the House Kayfabe, we like to talk about a little phrase called cardboard karma. And I'm really hoping that you bring us cardboard karma today. So in that aspect, we always talk about things that we want to see out of these packs of cards. If you could pull any card of any form that you're either aware of there may be, or that you're hoping there may be, then you haven't looked into it a whole lot, what would that card, or what type of card would that be for you?
For me, an auto is always the way to go. Anything with an auto or a relic patch. That's my two big things that I'm always looking for in any kind of cards that I go for.
All right, so if you could pull anybody's auto out of the packs we have today, who are you pulling?
Personally, I think I would want either a CM Punk, MJF, Omega, or Adam Cole.
Yeah, you're not asking for much. Okay, so
yeah, no, keep it simple.
Keep it simple. You know, I'm definitely not bad pulls. I've got parallels of all of those guys. I've never pulled an auto from any of them. I do have an autographed CM Punk card, but not that I've pulled out of AEW cards. I've got an autographed CM Punk card from WWE packs before. Personally, everybody knows I'm a Young Bucks guy, so I'm looking for that dual autograph Young Bucks card. I'm looking for a Pentagon autograph card. I'm looking for something a little bit different than everybody else, but I would not be mad at any of those autographs ending up in my collection.
Well, also, I did forget Penta. You know, I'm a big Penta mark also. So.
Yes. All right. So, and he and I have talked about this prior. If he pulls the Young Bucks card, he's going to allow me to put it on layaway and make payments on it so I can take it off his hands, which hopefully happens and doesn't happen at the same time. So, how would you like to do this, sir? Would you like to begin, or would you like to open up a couple packs and filter through and kind of see what you've got, or do you want me to start and see where we go?
I'd say if you want to, we'll switch off packs. I'll do a pack. You do a pack.
All right, go for it. I'm going to go ahead and pop the seal on this one just so I can have it ready. Everybody makes fun of me because it takes me a little while to get the cards open at times, but I'm getting there. I'm getting better at it. I've opened enough now. I should be a pro, but obviously it's not always that easy. So don't be afraid to show us what you got. Tell us what you think. Find something good.
All right, so starting out, we got just regular base card, Orange Cassidy. Okay. Always a decent one. We got Mr. Ass himself.
See that? So that right there, that's actually a really cool card. I kind of hope to get one of those. I've been looking for one. I've got some Billy Gunn cards out of these AEW packs, but he is coming to our hometown within the next month, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know what it is about that card particular, but I love the look of it. That's the one I want to get autographed. I've also got a TNA Kip James card that I pulled out the other day from my personal collection. I want to get this thing autographed. I don't know. He's got several TNA cards, but I really like this one. So I want to take that one as well when we do go to scene.
Yeah, I have a patch card from him that might show up in a later episode. on here that
Okay.
I was thinking about getting signed whenever we go.
Nice.
All right. So we got another base. We got the young man, Mr. Pillman.
Ryan Pillman Jr. All right. And these are the packs that we're opening right now, guys. In case you're seeing something that you like, any of the base cards, you can see the front cover of the cards you look for them. These are the 2022 Upper Deck packs of AEW trading cards.
And now we've got a little bit of a hit. We got a gold border, Mr. Jay Lethal, who will be at the Bash in Beckley.
He will be at the Bash in Beckley. That'd be a great card to get autographed. That gold parallel. And if you don't collect AEW cards, there's different color variants on the borders, the parallel cards. That way you know that there's fewer made of each color variation.
And then we will follow that one up with a spec. Well, it's like the
so those are the pyro cards that they call them. So it's kind of got the firework border around them. Really cool. Got that nice holographic edging all the way around.
You can kind of see the difference between the base and the holograph. That's why you know what you're looking for.
Yeah. So the last time I did one of these videos, I had hanger packs that I found at another store. And I actually ended up with 2 of the Adam Coles, just like that.
Yeah, those are always a cool looking card. I mean, you cannot go wrong with those. And then we're going to follow that one up with the main features of one of the pillars, Mr. Darby Allin, who is somebody, if you ever get a chance to meet, is a very cool guy to meet in person.
He absolutely is, and we say that from experience. He and I, Bobby and I, actually got to meet him at a meet and greet. We went down together with a couple other individuals, and it's super cool. I took my little girl with me, and he was very interactive with her, even more so than he was with me. It was such a good experience, and she loved it. So she remembers him anytime we watch AEW. She knows that's the guy that took the time to talk to her, and they talked about fingernail polish together. Like, she thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. And then the final 2 that we have in the first pack was just bases. We got an Ethan Page and a Mr. Mark Henry.
See, and I like that they didn't just put Mark Henry in there as a just a wrestler. It has off to the side an announcer. He's a secondary person in the company. He's being shown that way. He doesn't have a prominent role or position other than letting people know that it's time for the main event. So that's how they portrayed him in the card, and I really like that. All right. So there's not a bad pack. Would you end up with 2 hits out of it completely? Yep. So not too bad. So open mine backwards just to show there's a Omega card in there already, which is really cool because you don't see a whole lot of Omegas. I'm pretty sure he's short run compared to most of them. Mr. Mayhem Wardlow would be the first part of it. Still got his ponytail in that picture. New cards coming soon and probably new figures as well. And Helico, a guy that we don't see in AEW a whole lot right now. I know he's still contracted through the company because he's doing some Ring of Honor matches. So I think that's a great place for him. Him and Jack Evans come into the company very early on, and they just didn't quite do what I think everybody expected them to, knowing their independent scene history and this and that. So still a very good talent. He wasn't quite ready to be where he was.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of Van Helga. I think he's a very underrated guy.
I agree completely. So there's one of the hits we're talking about. Got the gold parallel in Riho. Going to be, the card of the peg warmer. I'm not mad about it. I like getting any hits I can, but definitely not the one I would have wanted. The main features, Christian Cage, the man that's out there working everybody today, one of the best heels they've got in the company, and they're using him to enhance these up and comers, which I think is a great thing for these older guys to do that aren't really in the forefront of the company anymore. So good on him for being that guy, that mentor in the company.
Oh yeah.
Outside of the ring, Sammy Guevara, just a little candid photo shot. Pretty sure this is him sitting on top of the cage from Blood and Guts. Sorry, I got a poster up there from the Blood and Guts event. It took me a second.
Looks like it'd have been the one from Jacksonville too. It looks like it's outside.
Yeah, that's in Daly's place. That's right. Yeah. It's a pretty cool card. I don't think I have this one, or I don't know that I have any of the outside of the ring cards, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those in person.
Got a little bit of a lag on my secondary camera there. Apologize. It'll catch up with us in just a second. Until then, Santana and Ortiz, proud and powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show it back down here now. Don't know what happened there. Got a little laggy on me. See if I can fix that for us.
Speaking of that card, Santana, both of us have agreed that he is a talent who should have been pushed as a single. He is a guy who could have made a difference.
Santana is one of the most underrated guys in the professional wrestling world. Like not just AEW, but in the professional wrestling world.
Yeah.
But yes, he is. Throw that one back out there for just a second. I think personality wise, ability wise, in ring moveset, out of ring demeanor, the way he carries himself, he deserved singles titles runs. He potentially, in my mind, could have been somebody, maybe not pushed to the forefront of being the world champion in AEW, but if he wasn't somebody that was challenging everybody that held the belt at some point in time, AEW was missing the mark because that guy, he's a talent. All right. We've got a red velvet there. She's kind of hit and miss on my scale. Sometimes she comes out and does everything that she's supposed to, and other times it's rough to watch. So not a bad card to have, but not somebody that I'm super thrilled about. And then there is my Kenny Omega card. No other hits out of the pack, but all in all, not bad. With the gold parallel Rio and some good base inserts.
So I'll jump right into pack number 2. Starting right out with one of my favorite tag teams, Mr. Dax Hardwood. Just a regular base, but always good card to get anybody from FTR.
Absolutely. We've seen FTR live and in person. Also, so there's an event that goes on here locally, guys. It's called the Bash in Beckley. If you haven't heard of it, you need to look into it. It's something that is being viewed all over the country. Bobby went to Revolution. When he was at Revolution, actually met someone from Oklahoma, correct?
Yes, he's from Oklahoma, traveled all the way here. That
attended the Bash in Beckley too.
Yeah.
And we are located in Southern West Virginia, so that's quite a haul to go to. The main event on the card, there was a heavyweight title match, but the main event on the card was FTR versus the Wolves. We're not going to go into anything about the Wolves right now. We're just going to talk about how great that match was. It was a dream match. It was a first time ever match, and we made it happen right here thanks to ASW Wrestling, Stephen Pinu, the House of Kayfabe. It happened in Beckley, West Virginia, and it was a fantastic match.
It was definitely a 5-star banger. And moving on, next we got the women's champion. We got Miss Jamie Hayter. Into Jake Hager. And then we got a gold Mr. Tony Schiavone.
There you go. Glad you pronounced it correctly.
Yeah. Then we've got another pyro, this time Mr. Billy Gunn again.
Now, see, that's the card right there. That's the one. That, if you take anything extra with you other than that secondary card we were talking about a little bit earlier, that's a pretty cool card.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
And you notice I opened a pack and I still didn't get one.
So then we go to the main features, Mr. Ricky Starks. I know you were a big fan.
Big fan of Ricky Starks. That guy, he is a multi-million-dollar player in the making.
And we go back to just a base of Mr. Schiavone. And last one is a base of Mr. Matt Sydal.
Matt Sydal. I've never been super impressed with Matt Sydal, but man, sometimes that guy, when he's on, he's on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to run through this second pack of cards fairly quickly, guys, and then we'll come back to you at a different time with some more cards. But just to get started, there he is. There's our guy Santana we were just talking about. It's a really cool card. A 2.0 tag team. Stole the name because they were NXT guys. NXT 2.0 becomes a thing. They're going to rip them off and just call themselves 2.0 when they come to AEW, and I absolutely love it.
Yep.
Gold parallel of the Butcher and the Blade, which I think is a very underrated tag team. I think they need a very dark and mysterious frontman and mouthpiece. I would love to see James Mitchell. Like, there's so many good people out there that could be a frontman for these guys. But if you want to talk about believability and realism in wrestling, man, these guys, they look as mean as they probably are. And to me, that's wrestling. That's when it comes out pretty big. Oh, no. Now there's a hit. Not the hit I would have wanted, but there's you a red parallel numbered Taz. It is 247 of 299. And the announcer card also sporting the pyro in the back. I don't know that I've pulled anything like this from an AEW pack yet. That's pretty cool. I think the only other major hit that I have is an autograph from Joey Janela, which, let's face it, it's not a huge hit, but it's pretty cool to get all in all. But that right there,
sweet card right there.
That is a good pull. Got a main features Kenny Omega. Hey, there's your CM Punk. If you need that, I've got several of those I can send to you. Got a whole shelf full of them over here.
That'll probably be a later trade,
right? Such a cool card. There's a big thing about cards that I like, and it's when they put them in motion, and it's not just a posed card, you know. And I know this Kenny come from an in-ring shot, but he just looks like he posed in front of a green screen for that image. That tells a story. That right there. And I talked about it on a different episode with a Vicky Guerrero card. She's holding a microphone, screaming at the top of her lungs, and you can hear her say, "Excuse me," just by looking at that card. And I absolutely love it when they do it that way. And got a Serena Deeb, female professor of professional wrestling. It's kind of ironic you got Deeb and Punk back to back, because if you followed their careers, she was the female of the Straight Edge Society back in the WWE days. She was the girl that come out and shaved her head for Punk with Gallows. Really, really enjoy that little walk down memory lane. If they would ever get into a situation where Punk would need a female counterpart and they don't use her in AEW, they're missing so much history and back storytelling.
Yep.
And then to round out the pack, we do have an Ethan Page card. So all in all, not a bad pack with a really cool pull right there. I'm going to sleeve that up and put it in a case. Taz is not a hard man to find out in the world. One day, may be able to get an interaction and have that card signed. But yeah, all in all, great cards. First couple packs Bobby opened, a couple parallel cards, no autographs yet, no numbered cards, but we're going to get there because we're going to keep opening cards. But for right now, this has been the House of Kayfabe. He is Bobby Brown. I am the only Derek Jones that matters. Thank you, guys.